Rose of a Rose Tree by Fabio Fialio. Within the courtyard of my home, there grows a rose tree fair. The passers all envy me, their roses bright and rare. In every rose there is a grief, some dexterous knife indeed. Seems to have pierced 1,000 hearts, the sunlight makes them bleed. Like tears appear the dewdrops clear, who it wears at breaks of day. Who knows the mysteries it hides, of which it not may say. Its color, its perfume, strange, thrill to the blossom's core. He who has once that fragrance breathed, forgets it nevermore. The fairer daughter of the Tsar asks for my roses red, to weave a rich triumphal wreath to crown her father's head. Pardon, your highness, but my flowers I could not bear to see, adorn a chain to strangle men, inspiring to be free. An elegant, proud cardinal for my roses asked one day, upon his altar and his board, to their beauty to display. Your eminence, excuse me, pray, I do not nurse their grace, to make a table's garland bright, or deck an altar place. With sad tears running down her cheeks, to bitter grief a prey, a maiden with an angel's heart come to my door today. Give me 2 roses, just 2, she pleads, sighing deep. They will make sweet the lowly grave where my love lies asleep. Without a word, as fast as hers, my tears begin to fall. For that sweet maiden in her grief, I plucked my roses all. To bring her ruddy offering, she flew with footsteps light, and straightway on my rose tree bloomed a myriad roses white. Thank you.
The Lower East Side by Miguel Panero. Just once, before I died, I wanted to climb up towards the temperament sky. I dreamed my lungs out, but I still cried. Then my ashes were scattered towards the Lower East Side. So let me sing my song tonight. Let me feel outside, and let all eyes dry when my ashes are scattered towards the Lower East Side. For Houston, for 14th Street, to 7th Avenue, to Minnie D. Peace for all the hustlers and suckers that meet the freaks. We'll all get high on the ashes scattered towards the Lower East Side. There is no other place for me to be. There is no other place that I can see. There is no other place that keeps me up or brings me down. No food, little heat swims by. Fancy cars and pent bars, junk saloons, and greasy spoons that make my spirits fly when my ashes are scattered towards the Lower East Side. A tough jerky I have been, committing every known sin. Bums and men of style, runaway child, police shooting wild, mothers signing waivers, pushers making sales, dope wheelers and cocaine dealers making sales. The streets are filled of those who feel to die. All this is true, all this is true, all this is true, but this is no lie when I ask that my ashes be scattered towards the Lower East Side. So here, look at me, I stand proud, as you can see. Proud to be from the Lower East Side, a street fighting man, a problem in this land. On the physiology of the criminal man, of prison times. The rocky gravel is my home. You got to be strong. You can't be shy without requesting that your ashes be scattered towards the Lower East Side. I do not want to be buried in Puerto Rico. I do not want to rest along the island cemetery. I want to be near stabbing and shooting, gambling and fighting. A new birth cries when I ask that my ashes be scattered towards the Lower East Side. Thank you.
Rio Grande de Luisa by Julia D. Burgos from Puerto Rico. Rio Grande de Luisa, reach out in my spirit and let my soul get lost in your streams, to search for the source that you stole as a child and return you to the path in a mad rush. Curl yourself onto my lips and let me drink you, to feel you mine for a brief moment, and hide from the world and hide yourself in your voices of astonishment in the mouth of the wind. Get off the back of the earth for a moment and look for an intimate secret of my anxiety. And get confused in the flight of my fantasy bird and leave me a rose of water in my dreams. Rio Grande de Luisa, my spring, my river, since the maternal petal rose to the world. With you they came down from the rough slopes to look for new pharaohs, my pale longings. And my childhood was all a poem in the river, and a river in the poem of my first dreams. Adolescence arrived. I was surprised by the life on in the wildest of your eternal travel. And I was yours 1,000 times, and in a beautiful romance, you woke my soul and kissed my body. Where did you take the waters that bathed my forms in a spike of newly opened sun? Who knows in what remote Mediterranean country some fawn on the beach will be possessing me? Who knows in what downpour from what distant land I'll be pouring myself to open new furrows? Or if anything, tired of biting hearts, I'll be freezing in ice crystals. Rio Grande de Luisa, blue, dark, red. Blue mirror, fallen blue pieces of sky. Naked white flesh that turns black every time the night gets into your bed. Red strip of blood when in the pouring rain its mud vomits you the hills. Riverman, but with river purity. Because you gave your blue soul when you gave your blue kiss. Very sir, my river, riverman, the only man who has kissed my soul by kissing my body. Rio Grande de Luisa. Rio Grande. Big cry. The greatest of all our island's cries, if it were not greater than the one that comes out of me through the eyes of my soul for my slave people.
Because we were friends and sometimes loved each other, perhaps to add one more tie to the many that already bound us, we decided to play games of the mind. We set up a board between us, equally divided into pieces, values, and possible moves. We learned the rules, we swore to respect them, and the match began. We began to sit there for centuries, meditating ferociously, how to do the one last blow that will finally annihilate the other one forever.
Extraño polvo cinza, which means strange ash dust, by Peter Amor from Mexico. Strange ash dust, that you paint yourself in colors. I understand that you decorate yourself to hide the sick. How are you so moving? Also with the way you play and spilling you blind in a tumultuous flow. Souls you managed to sculpt, but after them, you denied. Thank you.